So let's start discussing the different consensus mechanisms that incentivize these networks of information to come to an agreement. And the first one is called proof of work. And what proof of work does is it basically burns a lot of energy to create security. So however much energy is burned on one side is how much security you wind up with the other side. And so proof of work is exactly how it sounds. You have to prove that some work is being done. And in the crypto space, in proof of work, you solve a cryptographic puzzle. This is a long, complicated algorithm that's solved by a network of miners. And these miners, like I said, can be anywhere and everywhere. If you want to join the network, all you need to do is buy a mining machine to create hashing power. And more on that later. And lastly, what's important to understand with proof of work is that you have a Coinbase reward. So when a miner solves the cryptographic puzzle, they're given a reward. And how this fits into the whole equation is that, remember those groups of people that were sitting in your audience with the ledgers? Now, pretend at the same time they're trying to solve an algebra equation. And the person who solves the algebra equation also has to add the information they've received from people on stage making announcements to secure that block. And if they win that block, they get the cryptocurrency payment. So there's some different pros and cons to proof of work that I'd like to get into. Now, the first pro of proof of work is that because it's so inherently decentralized, it's the most secure system. Because you can have a blockchain that has miners literally everywhere in the world. There's no limitations to it. Now, there's some problems with that, though. There's going to be a really high cost of capital. And one of the main problems with proof of work is that it burns so much energy that there's estimates that the blockchain takes up the entire energy for the country of Morocco in a single day. And lastly, one of the cons is miner loyalty. How do you ensure that miners, once they're mining your coin and securing your network, will actually stay there? What happens if there's a sell-off in your cryptocurrency? Maybe those miners find something that's more lucrative. So you have the problem with miner loyalty. And so that is proof of work in a nutshell. And here are some proof of work protocols. You've got Bitcoin, which is obviously the most famous. Litecoin, which is a derivation of the Bitcoin blockchain. It was a fork in Bitcoin's code. You've got Monero, which is an anonymous way to secure cryptocurrency on a network. And lastly, you have Ethereum, which is now a proof of work protocol, but will be moving to a proof of stake at some point. And I'll explain that in the next video.